Discard now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from our comfy couch here on the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews for August 2nd, 2020, with your host, Spaceworker2448, and Ramp It Up Salon.
Hi.
It is hard to believe it is already August.
I know it.
I believe in when people say that they are suffering through time compression, because I feel it too. I'm just like, wait, what do you mean it's August?
Although this year that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, that would help.
Because the bulk of this year has been crap.
Yeah, it's been a very garbage year, unfortunately.
It's like, can we just throw this year out and start over?
Yeah, it's called 2021. Maybe. Although I saw a tweet, something somewhere that said, March is probably the earliest we can expect a vaccine for the pandemic.
But do we really think that's going to help?
For the pandemic, probably. If it's widely available enough, yeah.
That's going to be the problem.
Yeah.
It's not going to be, so it's not going to help.
Mm-hmm. But I would say brighter news. Unfortunately, the series is not that bright. Do you know there's a new do you know about the new Transformer series that Rooster Teeth animated?
I think I've heard you mention it a few times, but not actually know of it, no.
Okay. It debuted this week. It's Transformers War for Cybertron Siege, the first in their trilogy, because the toy line's a trilogy in terms of War for Cybertron branding. It has no connection to the War for Cybertron Fall of Cybertron games, bear in mind. I actually watched it. It's fine. It's a bit too bleak for me, especially given current times.
I can see that.
But otherwise, it's fine. I think I have less interest because I know the third part of this is supposed to have Beast Wars stuff, and I'm interested in that as a Beast Wars fan. So, call me in like a year when maybe Rooster Teeth gets the new Beast Wars characters. I assume. Because I assume they're doing the animation for all three parts.
Possibly.
Plus, it's like 6 episodes. So it wasn't like that much of a time sink. I had it done in an afternoon. But it's on the Netflix, if anyone's interested. But anywho, time for Ichigo Nigo original series. Oh boy, how do you feel about all the brainwashing that happened this week?
Like I said before, I feel like they screwed up because it feels like the ordering of the episodes needed to be changed around a bit, because it kind of makes our entire cast look stupid.
I just look at this and just be like, is that how we're going to get the club more involved, is by having them trying to murder Hayato every week?
I mean, I'm game for that. That at least gives them something to do.
Yeah. I also just have the note in here of like, God, it is a struggle to remember any of the female cast members' names in this series. And I feel so bad in admitting that.
It really is.
Yeah, it just...
I mean, it's bad when Goro has more of a part than any of them put together have had.
And Goro was introduced at the same time as our 3 original girls, who are now all gone.
Yeah, and it's like, that's kind of a problem.
Oh, well, no, not all, because one of them still left. But the other 2 are gone. But yeah, just, Jesus. I just wish they got to do more. They just, I don't know, they just feel like they're here to just be here, more or less.
Yeah. Like, that's the best thing to say about it. And even with that, that's not too good of a thing to say.
Yeah. It just makes me miss Ruiko even more, because, like, she had a purpose, she got an episode. It was by happenstance she got an episode, but she still got a fucking episode. That's, like, more than the rest of the girls have gotten. None of them even have a proper episode, even though one of them is the specific focus of brainwashing in one of her episodes. Still not her episode. No.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, folks, the theme is stupid brainwashing.
Yep. Emphasis on the stupid.
Yeah, any thoughts going into these 4 before we hit the recaps?
No.
Alright then, we're gonna pick up where we left off last week with episode 41, Magma Monster Ghoster, Decisive Battle of Sakurajima. So we pick up with our 2 riders searching the area from where the last fight happened for the base, while Shocker deploys another monster that they just pull out of a volcano because it's heat resistant, and I guess it's heat resistant against lava.
I guess that's how that works.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't either.
Also, apparently, they're trying to dig a tunnel to some channels of magma to fuck up a city or something, but they're using people. They need more people for it.
Because, why not use people instead of the monster designed for this kind of thing?
Or just machines in general. That would help too. But no. Nope.
No, Shocker's got to do it the dumbest way possible.
Yep. So, in order to accomplish their need for people, they proceed to just drive a bus to the local hotel, tell them to evacuate because there's an earthquake happening, and they kidnap all the people, minus Goro and some other kid. So, once more, Tire Club kidnapped. Again. God damn it.
What you wanted to see, though, right?
No, especially when at least one of you knows how to punch their way out of a problem. But it's told later, no, do not punch your way out of a problem.
Thank you, I was fixing to mention that.
Taki, your entire job in this series is to punch people. That's your job. Punch people.
Yeah, but when Pops tells him no, then he can't do it anymore.
Tachibana, half your job is to punch people.
The other half is to babysit the rest of the sporting cast, but that's beside the point.
More or less. And 1% of the time, you get to actually make a speech and be this fatherly figure I've been told you're supposed to be in these series. And I'm not seeing it.
The only thing I've ever seen is him either, be supportive or be a complete and total jerk. So, and by supportive, I mean actually punching and kicking people.
Yes. Anyway, so as the bus drives off, and I think, isn't it the armadillo monster that returns this week randomly to be the guard on the bus?
I think so.
Okay. I'm sad it doesn't curl into a ball and roll at people. Or it doesn't curl into a ball and the other monster throws them at people.
That would be even better.
Yes. Now, we keep with the kids for a little bit. We see that they get split up. Because, like, one kid, because Goro's off looking for Hayato and can't find him, because of course not. The other kid ends up being found by the riders, where Hongo tricks Hayato with a two-headed coin, or two-tailed coin in this case, into taking the kid into town while he goes and deals with Shocker. Okay, first of all, why the fuck are you coin flipping for this? Second of all, Hongo, why the fuck are you using a trick coin for this? It doesn't matter who goes.
I mean, he could have just pulled rank and said, nope, I've done this longer than you. You're taking the kid.
Yeah, just... anyway. Well, we follow Hongo. He stumbles upon the Shocker bait, or like, Shocker trap. He transforms, fights some goons. I didn't realize that staff they've been using forever is actually a sword in a sheath.
I didn't put two and two together until you just said that, actually.
I was seeing them fight, and I'm like, wait a minute, did he pull a sword out of that stick? Wait a minute, the stick is also a sword in a sheath? Okay.
Well, the more you know.
Yep. So, Hongo fights some Shocker goons, fights the monsters, but he gets knocked out by the monster because it no-sells his rider kick, because fuck you, it's going to take 2 rider kicks to beat me this week, since there's 2 of you. So they take him back to the base, they stick a helmet on him and brainwash him, because that's the theme this week, folks. Buckle in. Because they want him to fight Hayato later and kill him, because that would actually probably be more successful than every other time they tried to kill Hayato so far.
Yeah, I mean, up to this point, I was like, they actually, for once, have a pretty solid plan. That's unlike Shocker.
Yep. So Hayato drops off the kid, and I guess he walked away, and then the kid and Goro get into a fight over trying to find people, and Hayato breaks it up and then gets informed, oh no, the club got kidnapped again, along with a bunch of other people. God damn it. So he tries to call Hongo on his radio, except Shocker answers and is like, come here and fight. Bye. Meanwhile, we check in with the club and a bunch of civilians, and so an old lady collapses, and Taki wants to fight their way out of this problem, but no, not allowed. No, we have to wait for backup, even though there's no monster here, so Taki could probably take everyone in this situation.
Yep.
And with everyone else's help, they probably could bust their way out of here.
Yep.
But, oh well. Nope. So, we go over to Hayato, who arrives, and Hongo's there, and he has to fight Hongo, so the two of them scuffle around for a bit until Hongo, like, knocks him out. But before that, Hayato uses his telepathy that the two of them have because of their connection as riders to break Hongo out of the brainwashing?
That I feel needed to be mentioned beforehand, because I would have made the last episode of last week so much more understood. I saw that and I'm like, oh, we needed that information last episode. Guys, please.
Yep, so Hongo and Hayato have rider telepathy and can communicate with each other and break each other out of brainwashing. I guess. Sure.
I mean, could have been a dumber reason.
I love how it's just they illustrate this by just having the eyes light up and blink at each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hug goes out of it. So the two of them now team up to fight all the shocker goons and monsters that have converged on them, and they proceed to kick everybody's ass like usual. Double rider kick to the proper monster of the week. He goes boom. They rescue everybody. The base is abandoned. It goes boom. We're out because Hongo's leaving because fuck you. You're not allowed to have me for another like 10 episodes. He doesn't even bother to say goodbye to people because he doesn't want a reason to not leave.
Which that one I can kind of understand.
What I don't understand is why his assistants, who came to Japan on his orders, are not leaving with him.
Yep.
Why are they staying? Why?
Reasons.
So that takes us to episode 42, The Devil's Messenger, Mysterious Flyman. So we start on some dickheads in a GTO. Pontiac GTO for reference, folks, because I actually know what this car is. It's the front grille. I recognize the front grille. It's what it means to be a car fan. It's just like, oh yeah, I know what that car is. I also don't like these dickheads who are driving around this GTO being assholes. Fuck you. I hate all three of them. They deserve what they get by the end of this episode.
Very true, yeah.
So they ride around town being assholes. They end up hitting a kid that's in Goro's class, I assume.
Class/club? I don't know.
It's a group of kids Goro hangs out with. That may or may not be the group of kids he was hanging out with last week for like the one episode with the kid and the monster. Maybe.
Possibly.
Goro's popular, but whatever. Anyway, they hit one of the kids there. And naturally, since they're near the club, Hayato and the others come out and they are fucking pissed. Rightly so, because a kid just got ran over by a car. And is thankfully not dead. Otherwise, these fuckers will be going to jail immediately.
Wow. After Hayato beats the crap out of them.
Exactly. They'd be going to jail regardless, but they'd be going to jail harder if that kid was dead. I would demand Hayato to like rider kick them into jail. Anyway, also, when they are told, hey, you ran over a kid, you dickheads, they don't give a fuck and drive off immediately. Not even concerned. They're like, nah, fuck you. We don't care. Bye. And of course, Hayato, telling Taki to take care of the kid, hops on his bike and immediately goes after them because fuck these assholes. They're dead. So he runs them down and proceeds to kick the shit out of 2/3 of them because the driver gets away for a little bit. And Hayato gives them chase. But shocker, in their periscope that the two of them should clearly see because it is directly in front of them and not camouflaged at all.
And neither of them see it.
Yep. Says, we like that driver. We like the cut of this asshole. Let's recruit him and turn him into a flyman. So they kidnap the driver and turn him into a flyman while Hayato's not looking. And apparently, he can brainwash people and control them with radio waves by putting Alka-Seltzer pills in people's drinks, and then they drink the drink, and that makes them susceptible to his brainwave things that work when he wants people to kill Hayato.
It's a plan. It's not necessarily a good one, but it's a plan.
This is what we're dealing with this week, folks. So anyway. Meanwhile, we check in with Goro, who's helping the kid recover because he feels responsible. And I just go, wait, is this not a Goro episode? What do you mean this is not a Goro episode? Motherfucker, if this was any other series, we would literally be focusing on Goro the entire episode. And this would be some character moment for him. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Goro's barely in the episode. He's in like 2 scenes before he gets brainwashed. Fucking hell. God damn it. Anyway, we go back over to the club, who are at the house of the dickhead driver, and the family more or less is like, our son would never do that. How dare you accuse him of a hit and run that you all saw? It is clearly documented by several key eyewitnesses and probably has a police report on it now. And I don't know why the cops aren't here knocking on your door being like, man, we required to see your son. He ran over a child.
Yep.
Well, also, while they're doing this, he stalks around the house in his fly form. Because, subtlety is Shocker's specialty.
Yeah, I mean, it always has been.
Yep. So, while drinks and snacks are served, Tachibana and Yuri are the ones who get whammied right now, and they get the Alka-Seltzer pill in their waters, and then they pull out their dinner knives and try to kill Hayato and Taki with them, and it fails immediately because the fuck do you think the two of them are going to do against the two people who normally punch their way out of problems? I think you have A, brainwashed the wrong people, and B, not brainwashed enough people to start with to try to take them. And C, misused your assets. Bravo, Flyman. Anyway, they knock them out, head outside where I think one of the maids for this place gets blown up by Flyman.
I think. I don't remember too much on that one.
It's someone from the house because she gets covered in the silly string stuff and is tossed to the ground, and then kaboom! She's just smash cut to an explosion in her place. So I guess she got blown up because of the silly string or something. I don't know. Anyway, that draws Taki and Hayato outside, and then they fight Shocker and the Flyman. And while they're fighting, Taki gets knocked out because, of course, he does. And Shocker tries to take him, only for Hayato to rescue him, because Taki does not get to be brainwashed that episode. No. He gets brainwashed in
the next
episode. I was like, is it in 2 episodes or next episode?
Yep.
Anyway, they head back to the club and drop off the two of them and then wake them up with smelling salts, and they seem normal for now. And that's when we go over to the hospital where Mika and Goro are, and they immediately get whammied, and they're just walked out of the hospital zombie style while the kid who got ran over follows them because I guess he's fine enough to walk. Hayato drops by the club, finds it closed, and then immediately has the two of them attempt to stab him with bigger knives this time, because that was the problem, is they didn't have big enough knives. Not the fact that one of these hasn't punched their way. I think, is this the one? Is it Mika Yeah, Mika's the one that used throwing cards. I don't know why she didn't throw the knife at him.
Because it wasn't a card.
Fair enough.
I will give the show the dumb for that one.
Yeah. And Goro, who is a small child, that I'm sure Hayato could just take the knife away from him and just hold him at a distance and be like, no, you go in the corner and you calm down. Anyway, Hayato, the kid there is there to warn Hayato about this because he has his back turned to them. And then Emmy gets brought out because she's not brainwashed in this. But Hayato saves her, and the three of them run to this construction site for a apartment building, I guess. That's where they run in the Shocker. Fight ensues. Taki finally shows up. They take care of the 4 club members who are brainwashed. They fight off Shocker and the monster. A rider flip kick this time takes out Flyman. Everyone's freed from the brainwashing, and hey, we all get to have a laugh at us trying to kill Hayato, I guess. Even though no one gets told, by the way, you were brainwashed, you were trying to murder someone.
Because that's how you do that, right? You never tell them?
Yep. So, how'd you feel about these two?
I feel like this... I feel like 42 is on the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Because... Yeah, next episode, all the signs of brainwashing there doesn't even take that into consideration. It's like, oh my god. How stupid can you be?
Yeah, this is... We are in the slump of the series. I mean, that's... You are correct, M78 Eddie. But it's not the only thing Toei has that is Tokusatsu related, but yes. So yeah, I guess anything other thoughts before we move on to the second half?
Nope.
Alright, so we hit 43 now. Mysterious Birdman Pranodon's attack? Birdman. It's Birdman. We're dealing with Birdman. Who may or may not be a pterodactyl. I don't know. He's at least flying type because he uses Gust, and it's super effective.
Against everyone.
Yep. So we're up in the mountains following the club for a hike. Minus Taki and Hayato, because payback to them for not inviting the club for when they went camping last week? Wasn't it last week? Or the week before?
Was.
Okay. Ah, cool. Welcome. We're talking the original series. We're finally in closer to halfway. Fortunately, it has been a slog in the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Anywho, Amy goes off alone because Goro throws something and she went and got it and then found a cave, and she walks in the cave where Shocker finds her and kidnaps her and puts a radio in her ear to brainwash her. Sort of. Sometimes in this episode. The brainwashing is weird in this episode where it seems incredibly spotty. Like, sometimes it's full control, sometimes it's like partial control, and they can fight it, but it doesn't work, so they have to inflict pain, but then it's just like back on fully.
And I think, didn't they say that this was supposed to give this monster full control, yet it doesn't?
Yep. Anywho, they put...
Consistency would be awesome. That's the only thing I gotta say to that.
I would love some more consistency in this series. Really would. Anyway, our Birdman's using the radio waves to control them. And he forces Emmy to switch Hayato's cameras for one that doubles as a gun in order to murder some Rocketeer person that shows up the next day.
Okay, I want a correct gun. He says it shoots mini rockets. How?
Okay, I missed that part. I thought it was just a gun. I thought it was just a gun. I didn't think it was a rocket launcher.
Apparently it is a mini rocket launcher in this camera. How?
That seems incredibly unnecessary.
Yes.
Incredibly unnecessary. So anyway, like I said, some big shot Rocketeer scientist person shows up the next week. or the next day, not the next week, the next day, because he's visiting his son, I guess. Did they ever get into the reason why he's here?
Actually, I don't remember.
Neither do I. He's here, he has a son, and they are incredibly background players in this episode, so it doesn't just super matter.
Like,
Shocker,
literally, they're only ever in the background.
Yeah, Shocker wants Rocket Man dead. That's the most important that this guy gets. Anyway, Taki's on hand to do guard duty because FBI job that still confuses me to this day. Why is he FBI? Why is he just Japan police detective person? He accomplishes all the same things. Without the weird thing of him being from the US, but in Japan, and somehow still has all of his authority as if he was in the US.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm so hung up on this, but I am.
Oh, I'm baffled on it too. It's one of those I don't even.
Yeah. Hayato's also here to take pictures, and he tries to take a picture of the Rocketeer guy, only for his kid to bump into Hayato, make him miss the shot. So I guess now the rocket misses it and explodes into a crate nearby. And of course, everyone is freaked out about this, so Hayato is immediately arrested because, you tried to murder someone, go to jail.
Even though the people from the last episode that tried to murder a kid didn't go to jail.
Nope. Hayato, to jail with you.
That consistency again.
Of course, that doesn't last long because Taki just shows up and is like, by the way, FBI, he's not bad guy. No, he's good. He's with me. He's fine. Let him out, please. Shocker is just like, oh no, our crime failed, but we got Hayato in jail. Let's go forward with our plans. Which is more or less goes, Ebby, go pull Taki to like a side road somewhere, and then we go kidnap him. And then do the same thing with him, which feels like the person you should have got to start with in this.
Don't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost like Shocker did a dumb.
Yeah.
Again.
I guess it works to just like pull Taki in closer and not make him suspicious, but still. So Hayato shows up when the Shocker tries to take Taki, tries to fight him off. Doesn't work because Birdman uses Gust and blows him back. So they get Taki anyway, put the radio in him. And by the time Hayato gets back to the club, he finds out, he's like, shit, I'm suspect now. Even though that's not going to matter. And literally the next scenes for the rest of the episode. So, oops. But he does confront Emmy for answers, and she plays dumb, and then immediately pulls a gun on him from her dresser, I guess.
Her pocket dimension.
Yeah, she pulls it from somewhere I feel like Hayato would have seen her pull the gun from.
Yep.
Of course, it doesn't help her. Hayato immediately disarms her. She collapses in pain from the radio waves, and she gets taken to the hospital where Hayato will have a doctor look in her ear, find the radio, and go, that's the problem. And also hear Shocker broadcast their orders on it. Why is Emmy getting the orders about the murder when she's not involved in it?
Thank you for mentioning that, because yeah, I was wondering the exact same thing. Why?
Is this just a one signal radio that Shocker has?
Maybe. It's one of those that's like, But why?
It's too low tech. We can't have multiple signals to give individual orders. Now it's got all gonna be on the same thing, and you just ignore the things that aren't relevant to you. But meanwhile, to all this, Taki is trained to be their sniper with his automatic sniper rifle.
And apparently we find out that he was top in his class for marksmanship.
Which makes me confused of why this man has no gun in this series.
Yeah.
Where is your gun if you are marksman? You could solve a lot of problems if you had your normal gun.
Yeah, just shoot your way through everything.
Yeah. But yeah, I say it's automatic because it sounds like it's automatic, but it looks like it's a normal shot. So I don't know why it has like automatic bullet sound effects.
I mean, budget.
Probably. So they have him practice on a Hayato rider shaped out target first, and then they deploy him to go shoot the Rocketeer man who's in a car spending time with his kid, like a good father that we know nothing about.
Yep.
Anyway, Hayato makes it in time, knocks Taki right the fuck out because you're not doing a murder today.
No murder for you.
Takes on some goons, beats them up, takes on the monster, rider kick, we're done like we normally are. And Taki gets the radio pulled out of him, so we're done with that. And Hayato sends a rocket to the kid as a present to be like, hey, here's a present for not getting traumatized this week in any way, shape, or form. Which brings us to 44 Graveyard Monster Kabiabinga? Kabiabinga? I guess? I don't know.
I don't know.
Mold Man! So, we kick off with a bunch of kids. They're playing at some temple nearby, I assume, that also has a graveyard next to it. And these two twins, while playing hide and seek, end up going to the graveyard, and they're told, no, don't go in the graveyard. Which, why would a couple of kids go hide in the graveyard to start with? But whatever. Also, doesn't seem like that big of a deal, because it's like middle of the day.
Yeah, but graveyards are spooky. I swear that's probably what they're playing off of here.
Probably, but like Japanese graveyards seem far less spooky than like US graveyards.
Fair.
Because they're like, I don't know, there's something just like not spooky about them, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, they run in at the same time. Shocker deploys their new monster, Mold Man. And they find the kids, and they decide to take the kids because we will fuck over the club by exploiting their weakness of they just help random kids all the time. At this point, while we're over at the club, Hayato's chakra senses are tingling that a chakra plot must be happening because they haven't done anything in a while. They must be up to something. While the girls are getting pictures taken of them by Hayato because we ain't got better shit to do on this Saturday, so...
Might as well.
Yeah. Twins are taken to the base. They're hypnotized to help the club. And one of them brings Hayato and Taki to the graveyard to look for the other one. At the same time, the other girl is deployed Oh, apparently the blog said the last two boxes wouldn't be pictured. I thought it did. Never mind. That makes sense. Soto, AI 10. My bad. Anyway, at the same time, the one girl is taking Hayato and Taki to the graveyard. The other one is used to deliver chocolates to the club as a reward for finding her sister. So it turns out the chocolates are laced with a paralyzer that paralyzes the club and knocks them out.
And
so
also
that the mold
double as the starting grounds for the mold.
Yes, that takes light stuff to grow really fast or slow, depending on the scene we're talking about.
I am so confused with this weapon.
Yep. So after she does this, I assume it's that one that gets left in one of the tunnels at the base, chained to a cross so the mold can eat her. That gets to her feet and then doesn't move for the next 20 minutes in this episode.
Yep.
So Hayato and Taki run into the Shocker Goons because of the one girl. They fight him off. They fight off Mole Man. Hayato gets kicked off a cliff, and we get the wonderful mannequin in costume thrown off cliff
again
of the series. I love it. Especially when it clearly shows his head keep clanging off a rock or something. It's like, no, Hayato's fine. He just literally shows up the next scene to, like, wake up Taki after he gets knocked out by Shocker Goons. So, they take the girl, they head back to the club, but they do make it in time to kick over a can of oil that shows that the mold is weak to oil and disappears when oil is dropped on it. Which...
Now keep that in mind for the battle at the end.
Yes.
Because you can't tell it here. But I'm sure both here and the battle at the end shared this thing in common.
Which, that's a fire hazard, Tachibana. Especially with what you run. Leaving a can of oil with its cap open that anyone could knock over and spill oil all over the place. That's a fire hazard. Except
for what we see at the end kind of makes it okay.
Yeah. Also, shouldn't you have smelled that if the cap was open? Because oil smells. In large quantities, so I would feel like they would notice that that cap was open.
Maybe. So they make it back. They find out that it was all a ruse, the whole twin situation. So they head back to the graveyard. They split up. Taki finds the girl, saves her after the mold goes nowhere for the last 20 minutes. Hayato runs in the Mole Man, fights him for a little bit until Tachibana shows up and does his level 2 assist of deliver oil to Hayato so he can dump it on Mole Man and make him weak. You know, I would love a writer fighting game that would use all of the assists that I actually use. I am going to go ahead and mention it now. This is also the point in the fight where we realize that the oil looks a lot like water.
I mean, you don't want to actually, like, pour oil on people.
No, but they could have at least tried.
Made it look, yeah, they could have made it look black. They could have put some black food coloring in it, at least.
Because they didn't say that it had to be fresh oil. It could have been used oil for all we know.
Yeah.
That would have worked. Nope. We pour water on it and it's fine. It makes it go away.
Yeah. Anyway, Rider kick, Mold Man's done. We're out because the twins are saved. They want to say hi to Ryder, but he stepped off camera, so Hayato can step on camera and be like, "Hey, I'm here. The Ryder's gone." Nod and wink to Tachibana because the inside joke with that. Why the fuck does Hayato hide his identity? Feels so unnecessary half the time.
Why does Hongo?
Well, Hongo's made sense because it was a part of his character.
Okay, but it really doesn't anymore now.
Yeah.
We didn't bring back the one person that he was trying not to let know.
Yes.
So, why does it matter now?
Mm-hmm.
It's like... I feel like the answer to both is the same thing. It's just because.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it for the episode. How'd you feel about these two?
A little bit of consistency in the show would be awesome.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Because I feel like we have zero consistency.
Yeah. I miss Hongo. I miss Ruriko. I miss the first, 12 episodes of the series. It's what I miss. I felt like we had something at the start, and then we lost it when we had to lose Hongo. And then we kind of got it back a little bit with Hayato, but we haven't recovered. We've fallen into meh territory so hard. I don't see this show improving.
I don't either, to be fair. I feel like we're just kind of there.
At least not without as long as Hayato's lead. Unless we're doing something with Hongo's character, I don't see us going anywhere, because they're not even doing anything with Hayato's character like they were with Hongo, even.
Yeah, but I'm kind of on the fence of when we get Hongo back, if we're even going to have any kind of development with him, or if it's just going to basically be this keeping on going.
Yeah. God, this series does not need to be 98 episodes. Feels like we are just spinning our wheels until we do something interesting. Because, fucking Dr. Death is the one in charge at the moment from, the two-parter. And he's just done nothing except just replace Soul and everything Soul did normally. Except he does a lot more sitting around because I guess his actor can't stand a lot.
I guess.
He doesn't do a lot of standing. He's sitting more often. I especially noticed when they were out at the target practice, he was in a wheelchair for some reason. And that felt like, oh, this actor can't stand too much, can he? That's why half his scenes are him sitting. So yeah, I'll make the suggestion. Do you want to do Heisei Generations Forever next week? Because I'm going to be perfectly honest, I took a look at the episode summaries off Shout Factory for the next 4 episodes, and it is a whole lot of nothing.
Maybe to kind of give us a step away from it.
A step away into not good.
Yeah. 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 I mean, at least there is some good out of it. We can completely rip the movie apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I know Charizard likes the movie, but I'm just like, I'm glad you do. Neither of us do.
I like the stuff revolving around Deno. The stuff revolving around Geo, no.
The stuff around Bill feels like Bill should have gotten more.
Yeah, really.
Oh well, he got his fun crossover the year before, at least.
True. Very true.
But anything else?
No.
Well, between now and then, more Master Chief Collection, more Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, more Phantom Hourglass. Oh, that's gonna be rough.
I've got the sound effect I need recorded, so I shouldn't have to fight with it.
I'm recording mine tomorrow.
But yeah, I think Master Chief Collection, I'll probably be done with 2 this week.
Mm-hmm.
What about Going Commando? You think you'll have it done?
Maybe. The problem is I don't remember the pacing of the trilogy, of the original trilogy, because it's been since like 2012 since I even touched the games. And that is not when I originally beat them. When I originally beat them is when they originally came out. Which, you know, is not 2012. That would be 2003. 2003, 2004, so like quite a while. And I have not touched.
That's actually interesting on something there I just looked at.
What?
I'm actually still right on pace for Master Chief Collection because of the fact of ODST not going to be out until September.
Well, that works.
Huh.
Saturday's the podcast. We're talking. Fuck if I know. I would think the Avengers War Table probably. I know there was a big fighting game like Round Table, but it didn't seem like anything super interesting there. Came out there for people not into fighting games already, so not something we can cover well. Fuck, there is like nothing else I can think of. Maybe something interesting this week.
Oh, about the dumb with Infinite.
Oh yeah, that stuff with Infinite. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that stuff.
Because I feel like basically them saying that means that Halo Infinite's gonna have some form of battle pass.
Probably.
And at that point, I'm mixed on it.
But that's how you're going to get all the cool armors for customization for your Spartan.
I mean, if they do it akin to how they did in the Master Chief Collection, where each season they've got different rewards to kind of work towards, then maybe it'll be alright.
Yeah.
The issue's going to be that paywall, though.
Yeah.
I mean, with Master Chief Collection, it's just you do challenges to get this non-currency based currency to then buy the upgrades, which that's fine. Because you can even go back and get the ones from past seasons.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, it's like, okay, that something like that's fine. I don't know how a typical battle pass would work with Halo.
Yeah. Yeah. that Saturday, and we'll come back around, probably watching Heisei Generations Forever.
Yeah, I think we might as well.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about the movie. We need a break. We need to come in fresh the week after. God, we're not gonna be done with this till the end of the year. Anyway, that'll do it for me, for Tommy. If you like what you've seen, drop a follow. Appreciate it. Chipping away at that affiliate goal. At TG Saloon on Twitter gets you updates on when we go live. The exclamation point Discord in chat. Gets a Discord link, drop by, say hi. We'll see you next week, folks.